need to ask you something, and I need you to answer it honestly. When was the last time that you went to the doctor for yourself? Not for a prescription refill, not for something you absolutely couldn't ignore anymore, but for a checkup, a wellness visit, a kind of appointment where someone asks, how have you been doing? And you actually have time to answer. If you're struggling to remember it, guess what? You're not alone. Study after study on family caregivers show the same exact pattern. Caregivers are among the most medically underserved populations in the country, not because they don't have access, but simply because they keep putting themselves last until last becomes never. Today, that changes. Welcome back, caregivers. This is Caregiver the Health Boss. I am Michelle Stevens. This channel is named for a transformation from caregiver to health boss. And today, we are going to talk about what that transformation actually requires. Here is the pattern most caregiver parents fall into, and almost none of them see it happening in real time. In the beginning, you postpone one appointment, something came up with your child, so you'll go ahead and reschedule. Then you postpone another. The timing was not right. Things were too busy. Then you stop scheduling altogether because the energy that it takes to coordinate your child's care leaves nothing for you to coordinate your own. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, your body starts keeping score. The sleep that you skipped accumulates, the meals that you rushed through or skipped entirely, they all add up. The stress that never fully releases because the job never fully stops. It settles somewhere. And then one day it stops settling quietly. For me, that day looked like a button flying off my pants. My A1C was 11.4, which basically means that me managing my diabetes was not being managed. It was on autopilot for so long that I stopped managing it altogether. I spent years of tracking every number for my kids. And guess what? I hadn't tracked any of my own for a long time and way longer than I really want to admit. That is the pattern. And the reason caregivers stay, it's not that it's being lazy. We call it that it's not selfishness. It is a deeply embedded belief that taking care of yourself is something you do after you take care of everyone else. So today I'm asking you to change that belief directly. Let me give you 3 reasons why waiting to take care of yourself is not the sacrifice it feels like. So, reason number one, your health is directly connected to your child's care. This is not abstract. If you are running on chronic sleep deprivation, your decision making is so compromised. Studies on sleep deprivation show cognitive impairment comparable to being legally intoxicated after 17 to 19 hours without sleep. Your child needs the sharpest version of you in that appointment room, at that IEP meeting, and in that conversation with the specialist. A depleted advocate is not the advocate your child deserves. So, taking care of yourself is not separate from caregiving, it's just a part of it. Reason number two, the crisis that you are avoiding becomes the crisis you can't avoid. Every physician will tell you that the conditions most likely to become emergencies, high blood pressure, unmanaged diabetes, the heart disease, Those are the ones that develop silently while the patient is too busy to notice. The body doesn't wait for a convenient time to demand attention, and the caregiver who postpones their own care until things are serious is the caregiver who ends up unable to care for anyone, including themselves. Your child needs you well, not just present, but well. Number three, your children are watching. They're watching you model this. So, whatever your children see you do with your health, that's what they learn that health looks like. If they watch you ignore symptoms, skip appointments, and dismiss your own needs as unimportant, that is the template that they carry forward. But if they watch you take your health seriously, you track your numbers, you see the doctor, you make choices that protect your body, that is the template that they will carry forward instead. Your health boss era is not just for you. It is a lesson that your children will live by for the rest of their lives. So let me tell you what happens when you finally stop waiting. So for me, I reversed my diabetes. I went from 11.4 down to 5.9. And when I walked into my doctor's appointment, the doctor walked in and he walked in with his head down and he was reviewing my chart. And he says, "So, are you finally ready to talk about losing weight?" I said, "Did you look at my chart?" So he looked at me and then he looked at the chart. He said, "Wait, what?" Not because I did something extraordinary, but because I did something consistent. Started paying attention to my own body the same way that I had spent years paying attention to everyone else's, right? I tracked, I adjusted, I showed up for myself with the same energy that I showed up for my children. And as a result, that's where exactly um that would have been for a patient who received the level of consistent attention. So those results, they weren't just good. They were freaking great. And that is available to you. Not a dramatic overhaul, even though mine was quite dramatic, but not a complete life restructuring. Consistent attention, the same consistent attention you already know how to give. You've already proven it. Just needs to be redirected, even partially, towards you. All right, so what does that actually look like? I'm not talking about spa days, not the bubble baths, not advice designed for someone with unlimited time and zero medical responsibilities. Real, practical, sustainable self care for a caregiver who is managing everything. Start with tracking your numbers the same way that you track your child's numbers. Know your blood pressure, know your blood sugar, your cholesterol, your weight, not obsessively but consistently, because numbers you track are numbers that you can actually manage. Schedule your appointments first, not after you've scheduled everything else, but first. Put your annual physical, your dental cleaning, your specialist visit, whatever you need on the calendar before the month fills up. Because if you wait for a gap in the schedule, guess what? That gap never comes. Build a non-negotiable into every day, not an hour, not a luxury block of time, but one thing every day that belongs entirely to your body. 10 minutes of movement, a meal eating, sitting down, not over the sink, 7 hours of sleep just as a target, even when you fall short. 5 minutes of something that is not caregiving. One thing every day, non negotiable. Use a system. Your child has a binder, your child has a planner, your child has documentation, tracking, and organization. You deserve the same. The Health Boss Planner was built for just this moment. It is a system for tracking your health the same way that you do your child, with the same intention, the same structure, the same commitment. It includes sections for your personal health history, your numbers and how they change over time, your appointments and what was discussed, your daily habits and how to build them sustainably. List your goals, your physical, your mental, your spiritually, and how to actually move them towards life inside the life that you're already living. Not a different one, this one. The link will be in the description. So, this is a version of you on the other side, the one who went to the doctor, who knew her numbers, who planned for her own health the same way that she planned for everyone else's. The one who stood in her doctor's office one day and hears, wait, what? Because the numbers came back better than anyone expected. Not just those numbers, I actually lost 65 pounds in less than 3 months. So that version of you is not a fantasy. She is the natural result of deciding today, not later, not when things calm down, that you are worth the same level of care that you've been giving everyone else. You became a health boss for your child before you even knew that there was a name for it. Now it's time to become one for yourself. So drop a comment and tell me, what is the one thing that you've been putting off for yourself? I need you to say it out loud right here in the comments, because naming it is the first step to doing something about it. So share this with a caregiver who needs to hear it. Subscribe, because next week is personal. I'm sharing something that I haven't talked about before. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, caregivers.